Alright, so here's where we're at on this thing. Wednesday afternoon, we tore up the 4L65 and lost third and fourth in it. And today's Saturday afternoon, we got an 80E in it. Did the wiring changes at the connector, added the second VSS, matter changes at the ECU, redid the cross member. Got a drive shaft in, did a segment swap, got everything, just ran it, ran the fluid in, went through the gears, and got it topped off. So we'll try in a second, see how it does. The one problem I encountered was I forgot this one has a trans brake in it, so I'll have to provide power to it so I can back it up. We did it's got a SFI flywheel or flex plate, 9.5 PTC non-lockup, Jakes D3 brake, a bunch of Jakes, billet input shaft, a couple other billet pieces in there. Did a 447 conversion joint from O'Reilly, and it actually fit the stock shaft and the 4L80 yoke perfectly. So I found that on one of the forums, and everything else went pretty good. Not too much of a hiccup. Of course, had to extend the one cooler line on the rear one. I think that was pretty much about it. So I did, there was 2 wires you had to move from up here, and actually you get rid of 2 connectors in the pin at the transmission, and then you move 1 wire, and then the 2 that you remove, you just repin them up here for the front speed sensor on the 4L80. So I watched a couple of videos how to do the segment swap and HP tuners, and then went ahead, and it's pretty easy. I read where some people struggled with finding an OS that actually matched their truck, and 4th or 5th one, I just did the search by the year of the same year as the ECU this ECU came out of. It was a 2000 Suburban, actually. But then I found where you could actually search by the OS and then find everything that had that OS. But anyway, I got lucky on that. Got what I needed from there. Segment swapped it, saved it as, and then went into Blue Cat and updated all my shift speeds and that sort of thing. Now, this one, because of the D3 brake, is a fixed line pressure, so you know I guess the numbers in there really don't matter. I did change them, just to what I would normally put them at. But anyway, so I got it all in yesterday. I think I finished cross membering all yesterday. This morning I got up early, came up here, put the drive shaft together, and then did the wiring at the ECU, and I changed the filter in it, because I had a deep pan on it at one point, and then I actually robbed the deep pan off of it and put it on my 2500, because I tow with it and stuff. And this one's just a little 2-wheel drive truck, and it's got a true cool 40K on there. I blew through the lines and everything to get the residual 60E out of it, and so hopefully we should be good to go. I still would like to keep the truck, 4-wheel drive, or I want to go back to the all-wheel drive, but I don't know how long it's going to be until that happens. So I figured I had this one there, and I might as well, put it in, get the truck together. I mean, it didn't take me, but a day to pull the one out, put the other one in, make the cross member, do everything needed to be done. And then, like I say, I finished it up this morning, and then I would have been done by now, but I had another project there in the back we'll talk about in a second. But so yeah, I'm excited to see how this does. You know, like I say, it's 9.5 non-lockup, so you know, I'm curious to see how that does. And over here, we got, this is my 6-liter for the 2500. Got it the other day. Fresh home, vatted it, new cam bearings, and it's ready for assembly. It was actually out of one of those SS trucks, the ones with a 6-liter for a Hill 65 all-wheel drive, I believe. But anyway, so I finally got my block. Got a set of 823 heads there. They already got springs and everything on them, so they're ready to go. He gave me the flat top rods and pistons too, so I'll clean those up, check the ring gaps and all, and put that together. Got my crankshaft. I think they just polished it or cleaned it up and checked it and all. It's good to go. Another set of rods and pistons. Case those are dish for valve release, and then there's my you can see it in there, rectangular port, bread box style intake. I don't know. It looks just like the Trailblazer SS intake, but it fits these rectangular ports. So hopefully soon I'll be putting that thing together, and it'll be almost a bump, 1-point bump in compression, and then it'll have the rectangular ports on it. So I'll be curious to see how that works out. The truck ran pretty good before, so can't wait to see how it does with these changes. Here's the other little project I was working on this afternoon, and I didn't get the truck finished earlier, but I mean, I don't mind. But this is my buddy's 6-liter. It's out of a 3500 truck, I believe, Gen 4. I don't know how many miles, or it's just a stock 6-liter drive-by-wire. So he wanted to hear it run before we did anything to it. He was trying to make up his mind which cam he wanted to go with, and he wanted to swap the heads out and get the compression up and whatnot. So, but like I say, he just wanted to hear it run, so he asked me to help him. He's an old school small block Chevrolet guy. He's got a nice little Nova, and you know, wanted to help him out and try to bring him over to the LS crowd. So he brought it over, and then I kind of cleaned up, you know, took a lot of the stuff off, you know, got it ready to try to crank up. And obviously I don't trust the Harbor Freight engine stand, so we kind of had it tension with the cherry picker just in case the Harbor Freight stand broke. And so it's got the tack module, drive-by-wire. This is the pedal out of that Escalade, and we had the battery right here, fuel tank and fuel pump out of the Escalade, and then the fuel feed. So actually turned out pretty good. Worked great. Had some alligator clips, and we hooked this. There's a fuse right here that's hot at all times, and then on C7, and then you come up here to that pin right there, 9, A9, and then so you put power to that, and that's basically your keyed on power to the fuse block, so you can hear everything clicking and starting up when you put power there. I took this alligator clip and hooked it into power as well, and then got the fuel pump grounded right here. So, you know, key on, turn on the pump, and then I had another this wire right here going around to the starter post, and you know, just touch it to crank it up. So it didn't fire right off. You know, it spun over a couple times, hiccuped, and I didn't want to go. I think the injectors were probably clogged, because it's it's been sitting a while, and from what I've seen, those things just get gummed up so bad, and you gotta put them on the stand and energize them and get them flowing. He wanted to hear it run several times, so we, ran in a minute. I didn't have the throttle hooked up because the wiring harness from his tack module actually had a different plug, and I couldn't find this harness. I thought it was over there with my other harnesses, but I couldn't find it real quick. And after he left, it was still in the truck. So I grabbed it, and it plugged in, had the same wiring pin out as what his was, but the end on his where it connected to the pedal was just completely different. So it plugged in. I didn't try to crank it again with the pedal or anything, but we rigged up a little. Actually, that's the exhaust off of the Sierra. We cut it down and just cobbled something together to try to quieten it down. So you can see where I just welded it on to quieten it down, and did pretty good though. Fired right up, eventually, and ran pretty good. It ran, you could tell it ran better each time we cranked it up. So we're gonna put some, I think it's got some 706 heads on it. We're gonna put actually the same cam that's in the Sierra. It's a Summit Stage 2 Pro LS truck cam, high lift, 600 and like 218 something. I don't remember, but so like I say, he's putting that in his Nova. Then he's got a 4L80 and he's got a 4L60, and he was trying to make his decision, and I was like, well, we've seen what happens, so I'd go with the 80. Of course, the only drawbacks, the converter and everything for them's more expensive, but to not have it break and tear up is worth the extra money. So, but that's the one out of the Sierra. You can see the FTI converter. I think we're gonna put it in my buddy's car. It should be fine. This trans, like I say, was rebuilt a year ago, and then when I transferred it to the Sierra, I dumped all the fluid out through the dipstick tube, and then put fresh fluid in it, and then the conundrum with the TCC solenoid and dirty filter. Put fresh fluid and filter and all in it, and then it quit on us. So I think it was a pressure issue because it shifted great the first couple drives, and then I guess, I don't know where all that trash came from. I mean, if it was already damaged, before, because I didn't have time to thrash on it, hammer it hard, and then the truck, with the turbo. I don't know. It just gave up on me. But like I say, it felt like a pressure issue because after that, the torque converter locked up, and it was so dirty. And I changed the fluid in the filter. I mean, it just never shifted right. I mean, I knew that wasn't gonna fix it. I knew it was gonna destroy itself. But I wanted to drive the truck. So anyway, so this 60 and that 4.8 or 5.3 goes to pickup truck outside, and it got left out in the rain by people, and so my buddy bought a Tahoe or something. I know one Tahoe, so I'm just gonna take the engine and trans out of it and put it in that truck, get it going, and then I'm gonna try to build this one with that converter, and we're putting it in my buddy's car. So I'll do all the tips and tricks I know on building these, and hopefully it'll last better than this guy did. So anyway, that's it for now.